All right, this is the Australian CR1M, a combat ration single man. As you can tell, this one has a cut in it. I did not cut this open. I'll address that. This is kind of how it showed up. More on that later. Keep that cut going. All right, start undressing this guy. It sounded a little, let's just stick to, let's get this thing unpacked. All right, I got some multigrain bread, product of New Zealand. This was packed on September 2020. So this guy's a little old, but I think everything's gonna be just fine. Tuna. Tuna. Chunks and spring water. Ooh. It's that bougie tuna. Instant mashed potatoes. That was damaged with whatever cut that bag open. And there's a little bit of instant mashed potato flakes hanging out in the pack. But I'm still going to give that a try. I refuse to believe that potatoes can go bad. Teriyaki steak bar. Jack Link's. That's going to be just perfect. Feed your wild side. Jam plum. This thing has like a really distinct look about it. It looks like it came out of like a Vietnam pilot survival kit. It's kind of cool. Also, I'm a huge fan of plum. Got some chocolate M&Ms. Tiny little can of processed cheddar. 56 grams. That's a little can. Look at that. That's cool. Werther's. That's a cool thing to throw in a ration right there. Some like hard candies that aren't garbage. You know, crunch those out through the day. No one's complaining about that. Whole grain cereal bars with seeds, including chia. I didn't know I'd get a chia pet. I hope it's the Sonic one. I always wanted the Sonic one. Creamy chicken soup. I'm a huge fan of these little soups. I don't know why. A natural muesli with fruits and seeds. Maybe added with water, non-dairy creamer, and or sugar to suit individual taste. Thank you for the permission. Isotonic drink powder. Seems like it's a little chunked up, but it's doing just fine. That's a lemon lime. Sweetened condensed milk. Oh yeah. Malay. It's a lamb curry. Gusseted. Nice. Stand that guy up over there. That's gusseted too. Look at all the gussets. Oh man. We'll break out this other gusset. This is a meals ready to eat. It's a good source of protein. That's an Asian beef with vegetables and black beans. Hell yeah. That's also a meals ready to eat. That is a chocolate chip cake. It does not feel like a cake, nor is it the size of a normal cake. But as you know, Australia does things differently, being on the other side of the world. Maybe it's like a pound cake or something. But, oh man, that's going to be fantastic. Whatever it is. However it's designed. Whatever it looks like when I open that up, I imagine it's going to be fantastic. Biscuit cream cracker. Those are three terms when put together mean absolutely nothing to me. Biscuit cream cracker. It's a biscuit cream cracker. That's all we know. That's all we need to know. It's a little broken up feeling. I'm a little broken up feeling about that term. But, you know, we'll make do. We'll do the best we can. A whole packet of little napkins, straight from Mom's dinner table. They look pretty high quality. High quality enough. That's a chocolate ration. It's a chocolate ration. Ah, that was also cut. Ah, dang. It's cut all the way through, too. I hope that's still good. That's the weirdest drink mix I've ever seen. You get some storm matches. That's what those guys are, those bright pink ones. And then regular matches. And some tinder. Or it just helps it keep from like shaking about. You put some wadding in there and it quiets it down enough. Like it still rattles a little bit, but not super loud. But you can also use that wadding as a tinder to start a fire. Not a tinder that you swipe anyway on, but dang kids, your internet. Biscuit jam sandwich. Okay, now this is just getting silly. All right. It's either a biscuit or a jam sandwich. Like, unless this is like a jammy Dodger, I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to reserve judgment on this because it could be delicious and I could be literally eating my words. But biscuit jam sandwich. Let's just stop right there, Australia. Not making any sense. All fruit bar, raspberry. It's got all the fruits in this bar, but especially raspberry. Last but not least, well, kind of. Look at this. But last but not least, outside of that, is a protein drink that's coffee flavor. I don't know if I've ever had a coffee flavor protein drink, but that just sounds amazing. I can't wait to give that a try. As always with the 24-hour packs, it's got some potato on it. You get like a dual-use bag. You can either use it as a trash bag or throw your components in there, because this is going to be it for an entire 24-hour period, so you're going to want to store some food with you. And the pack that it came in is probably going to be cut up. Whoa. This is loaded with information. Real quick, it gives you a general idea about the ration itself. Go ahead and pause that if you want to read it. Some stuff about food allergies, preventative actions. Then we have some information about the best before date and pack date, water sterilization, and the CR1M data. Here there's a component list and nutrition information per item. And then a menu sheet for all the different menus. That's pretty rad. All right. The last thing that we're going to dive into is the accessory pack. This is kind of what I'm like super curious about. I've never had Vegemite. B vitamins for vitality. Yeah, for anyone like me that doesn't really know what Vegemite is, or what really it's all about, is this is a yeast extract. So yeah, I have no idea what that's going to taste like. I know that they eat it on, you know, crackers and stuff. I don't know if they eat it on biscuit cream crackers or biscuit jam sandwiches, but we're going to figure that out. Between that, the jam and the sweetened condensed milk, we've got a lot of stuff to spread on. Not a lot of biscuits, I think, but maybe I'll be surprised. Make everything better with Tabasco. They elected to do a packet instead of a glass bottle. Probably a whole lot cheaper. Tomato ketchup still feels like a good gel in there. Doesn't feel like it's hardened up at all. That's probably perfect. Tea bag. It's just a black tea. Another tea. We got some black pepper and some salt, fine or fine salt. Instant coffee, 3.5 grams. 2 of them. That's nice to see. Got 2 7-gram packs of sugar. Got 1 15-gram pack of creamer. Got some Mentos, the fresh maker, with green tea extract. You got a nice can opener. I couldn't tell you exactly what model can opener that is, but it's like the P38 or the P51. It's got the same operating mechanism, but this one has a bit of a spoon in there. So, I mean, if you don't have a spoon, good luck, because that is not going to be very effective. And I mean, they put that in there literally, in this menu at least, just for the processed cheese. So, I mean, I feel like it would have been more cost effective to do the cheese differently, throw in a pull tab, but I'm not complaining. I got a can opener out of it. And a scouring pad, look at that. Hell yeah. It looks like there's some soap in there already. You got not 1 or 2, but 3 whole rubber bands. Ah. I will fling these at the wife later. You know, as a good husband should. Alright. And that's that. Look at that layout. Alright. I've been waiting to get my hands on a CR1M for probably like 9 years, give or take. What we're going to do is we're going to break this up into breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as we do with most 24-hour rations. And we'll try and make sense of it and see how this goes throughout the day. All right, we got our breakfast laid out. But before I get into breakfast, I want to address where I got this ration and why it was ripped and what happened. So I procured my CR1M on eBay from a seller, Sophia Marie. It's as far as I can tell, it's a company of people or a group of people who are selling Australasian, all that kind of stuff. They have a pretty decent inventory. Everything I saw looked really cool. So I won this in an auction. When it showed up, I discovered that the package had a cut in the original packaging. It wasn't done by customs, so it happened before it was packed. So I contacted the seller and worked towards making things right. And we were messaging each other back and forth until we, came to an agreement of how to proceed. At the end of the day, I would feel safe in saying that the seller is worth your time. If you're interested in this stuff, if you want to get your hands on this stuff, you see one posted by them, you can feel free, rest assured that you're going to get what you paid for, and it's going to show up pretty quickly, all things considered. Okay, let's move on. We got breakfast. We're going to do a muesli with some biscuit cream crackers with some spreads on there and a cereal bar. All right, first things first, as always, let's get those drinks going. I'm going to do these coffees together. I'm going to do 7 grams of coffee. I know. I'm a professional. These both feel fine. They both feel crunchy. With these instant coffees, you want to give it kind of like a feel. If it doesn't feel like crispy in there or like kind of crunchy from the granules, then you might be opening a pack of dry mold. You don't want to breathe that stuff in. Let's get a look at this. Nice freeze-dried coffee. It smells really pleasant. It smells sweet almost, which is strange for coffee. That stuff was all packaged in 2020, so I'm just going to be, leery before I just dive into stuff. Because, after 6 years or 5.5 years, things can go a little squirrely on you. So it's good to keep an eye on things. Sugar's going to be fine. As for the creamer, I think I'm going to put not all of it in, because I'm going to put some into the muesli, I think. It doesn't seem to be a whole lot of air in here, so when I'm trying to get this stuff away from where I'm going to open it. It's not really working out for me. All right. We're good to go. It looks fine. It smells perfectly fine. It smells like nothing, which is how you know creamer is good. All right. All right. Then this protein drink, or formulated supplementary sports food coffee flavor. Good source of protein. Gotta get 200 mils. It's about half the cup, a little less. Hot or cold. I'm gonna elect to do this warm. Try not to get it everywhere. Not a whole lot of air in these packs, which is a good thing, but it makes opening it kind of hazardous. It doesn't really smell like all that much. It smells almost like almost banana-ish in a way. Very strange. Cool. I didn't get a spoon. I just got that like can opener, so I'm just gonna use this. That's not as absorbent feeling as it looks. Look at this heating up. Natural muesli, fruits and seeds. This has got rolled oats, dried fruits like papaya, apricot, raisins, pineapple. This is gonna be pretty good. Dried apples, pumpkin seeds. Heck yeah. All right. Good source of like natural energy. You eat things like tropical fruits and good oats, good breads and stuff, like that's going to give you really good high quality energy to use throughout the day. I'm going to pour the hot water right into the pouch. I'm going to put it in the tray. I want to make muesli like this at home, but like my stores around me, they sell muesli, but like they don't use rolled oats or really oats at all. They use granola. And so like I just don't feel like adding hot water to granola is going to get me anywhere near like what I want out of it. Look at how wonderful that is. Like this is a very colorful muesli. This is looking fantastic. All right, let's just dive right in. That tastes so good, man. Like the oats are perfect. They're fine. As for the fruits, that's exactly what you would get pulling out of just a dried fruit thing straight out of the store today. I'll tell you what, Sophie down in Australia is running a tight ship. They've been sourcing some solid stuff and storing it well while they have it, because this is fantastic. 6 years after it was produced, and that muesli is still perfect as the day it was made. But let's add some of that sweetened condensed milk. This stuff, I love sweetened condensed milk. Cap wasn't on very tight, but that thing's sealed. And if you're younger, these sealed tubes, the cap usually has this spiky thing in it. So when you take the cap off, you just invert the cap and press it in just like that. And then you have a fresh opening. And if you've never had sweetened condensed milk, then I don't know what's wrong with you, but like go into your cabinet right now and see if you have any and just like check it out. I didn't even stop to smell it and see if it was okay, because this stuff, oh my God, I love it so much. It's literally just everything it says. It's sweetened, it's condensed, it's a milk product of some variant. here's a little tip. If you want to make caramel and you're either lazy or not good at cooking, or I should say not like great at cooking, because it can be difficult to make caramel the right way. All you have to do is take a can of sweetened condensed milk and boil it. Take the label off, throw it into boiling water, and let it sit there for, 5 or 10 minutes. By the time it's done, you open it up. Careful opening it. It might have some pressure. So point it away from you when you crack it open. But when you open it, all the sweetened condensed milk inside will turn into a cheater's caramel, and it's fantastic. All right, let's give it a shot now after that sweetened condensed milk. Yeah, that's the way to do it. If you've watched any of my other stuff, namely my video about, the goat, the US MRE that has the blueberry granola, then you know how in love I am with that stuff. This is better. I would take this over the blueberry one, I'm pretty sure, which is pretty wild for me to say. I didn't think I'd ever say that, but I'm going to finish this real quick. Let's check out that protein drink, coffee flavor, because like I've said before, I don't think I've ever had like a coffee flavored protein drink. All right, let's check you out. Unfortunately, I think this is gone. I think that the milk product in that is gone. That doesn't taste very good at all. Yeah, it's kind of coating the mouth, like I feel it all over my tongue. That's kind of a shame. Hope someday I can get my hands on one of those that's still fresh. As for now, we're just going to go with this coffee. Yeah, that coffee is nice. It's pretty strong, even with probably 400 mils of water, and it's tasty. You gotta love it when you have an instant coffee that doesn't even taste like it's instant coffee. It tastes just like a normal brew almost. Let's get into that cheese. It's pretty like light cheese. It smells totally fine. It smells like spray can cheese. Let's give that a shot, I guess, huh? By itself. As far as like pretty basic canned cheese goes, if you've never had cheese out of a can, that can be forgiven because, it's not a normal thing. But the texture and consistency, it's pretty firm. It'll be spreadable like the Russian one, I think, where like you'll just kind of smush it on wherever you want it. It doesn't have like a super in-your-face cheesy feel or taste to it. It's a really pretty moderate cheese. It's tasty though, like it's nice and salty. So in this is like 0.8 of a gram of salt. So yeah, it is salty. Let's open up these biscuit cream crackers and work with that. Well, it's not cream. They're all kind of broken up. Man, these things are crummy. They make a lot of crumbs. Let's check it out by itself. This is a very light cracker. Like this tastes a lot like a soda cracker. Let's try it with this cheese. Yeah, not real spreadable, but tasty just the same. I'm gonna check it out with this plum jam, or jam plum. Jamming a plum. Where are you jamming it? Who knows? We'll find out. jam. I still don't really know the difference between jam and jelly. I think it's something about like pectin or sugar content. But in the right lighting, that is super red. And it tastes just so. It's tart. It's very sweet and it is very tart all at the same time. That is truly, truly a fantastic jam. The only problem with this is that you only get 26 grams. I want like a double size of this. I want a double portion. This stuff, oh man. That is wonderful jam. That is so good. Best jam I've had so far. Hands down. All right, let's get a little weird here. Do some cheese and some plum. We'll see. I dare say, boy, it seems that I have gone high class. This is what the bougie soldiers are doing out there with their CR1Ms. They're having fruit and cheese meetings and parlays. So, got a whole grain cereal bar with seeds, including chia. Good Lord, having flashbacks to Russian IRP. That is like an old school granola bar. That's what they used to look like before, you know, the world ended. Oh my God. All right. It's falling apart, but it's still, you know, we're making do. We'll live. You got some pumpkin seeds. You got chia in there. You got rolled oats. You got some like raisins, I think. Looks like the brown rice syrup holding this thing together kind of failed, but you know, could be worse. This is like eating a super sweet, like really involved granola bar. But it's like 2.5 grams of fiber right in the bar, which isn't bad. That thing was great. We don't really have anything like that on the market in the US. All right, so until lunch, we've got some Werthers to eat. You know, I'm going to make you sit right here and watch me eat all of these Werthers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm imagining you've had a Werther's before, so we're going to check to see just how these held up. They've been in this package for like 5-6 years now. It looks like it's like slightly melted a little bit, but the plastic's not super brittle. Looks like it held up pretty good. There's a Werther's Original Cream Candy, which when you're talking like hard candies, whenever you talk about cream, this is kind of like got this weird feeling that gives me. Now, I was wrong. That tastes markedly different from like any other Werther's I've ever had. Maybe because in the US, like everything is like illegal in other countries. So everything that you get out of an international ration just has different formulations. But this tastes creamier. Like it literally tastes creamy. It's really good. It tastes like a solid version of sweetened condensed milk. All right. Lastly, we got some Mentos Pure, fresh, with green tea extract. Look at that. I don't remember ever seeing like a green tea extract involved with the Mentos Fresh Maker. But, you know, we'll give it a shot. We'll see how this goes. Thought there was 3 pieces in there, but there's 2. Yeah, look at this. I got gypped. There's only 2. And it clearly says 3 pieces. All right, Australian government, I want my money back. False advertising. Well, at any rate, let's give this a shot. I can't tell any difference from a normal Mentos green gum, but it is very refreshing, and it is nice to have after such a sweet breakfast. Maybe I should have drank all of my coffee before having that Mentos. That was a little bit of a mistake, but You know, you live and learn. All right. All right. Hey. Woo-hoo. All right, we got lunch. It's a little while later. Starting to get a little hungry. I'm gonna heat up this Asian beef with vegetables and black bean, just in some water on the stove. Since this ration doesn't come with an FRH or any kind of heater that I'm aware of, so we'll get that cooked up. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, so this lunch has something I'm like excited about, but also kind of fearful of, and that's Vegemite. I feel like people either love it or hate it. It's yeast extract. If someone said like, "Oh, imagine the taste of yeast extract," I don't know what to even like imagine. We'll try it on a spoon, just as is. I know that's not usually how people eat it, unless they're like a turbo Aussie. Who knows? Maybe I'll be like considered an honorary Australian for at least like a week if I eat this 15 grams of Vegemite. Well, at any rate, let's get our drinks going. Let's not get too ridiculous here. So, we got a nice black tea here. And we got a lemon lime isotonic. I feel like that's a pretty safe flavor for an isotonic. Looks like it solidified a bit, but I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know if the stuff can go bad. But it looked like some moisture got in there or something somehow. Little pieces of green in there, but like I want to imagine that that's like just some lime. Well, let's throw some water in and let it do its thing. Oh my god, pouring water literally all over my table. Oh my god, it's chaos in here. Absolute chaos. If only my mother could see me now. She would say things like what and for and doing. With some other words. Alright, well, I don't know. Not the most attractive looking drink in the world. I don't think that this has survived. And only like 5.5 years after it was packaged. Like I feel like this should be fine. It's very strange. I don't know. I'll let it sit in the water a bit. It smells a bit like a wet nap. You know? Not bad, but not necessarily something I want to drink. Alright, the cup I dropped didn't break. That's a good thing. I don't think tea is legally allowed to go bad, so this should be fine. Smells like black tea. Exactly what it's supposed to. Put some dihydrogen monoxide in there. I'm going to dive into this before the tuna sandwich because I want to eat that while it's still hot. We got our biscuit. We got our all fruit bar, which I doubt that they have all the fruits in there because I have some fruit in my fridge, so they didn't use all the fruits. Yeah, that looks good. It smells pretty good from here. It smells sweet and tangy. Alright, let's jump right into this guy and see how she goes. Let's give that guy a taste. It smells really nice. It smells tangy and it smells like nice and beefy. Like they didn't really call it in on the flavors here just by the smell of it. One of the secrets to making a good like Asian beef sauce is, you know, you're gonna do like a beef gravy, but you put in chili powder, you put in your seasonings in there, but then you also put in some fish sauce. And that's what gives it that extra little push over the edge into realms unexplored by, you know, typical Western cooking. And I feel like this is, you know, an example of that, because it has that extra little bit of something that pushes it over the edge. That is truly fantastic. You know, it's mostly the flavor of the sauce. The texture of the beef is cut real small. It's almost like minced beef in there. You can definitely tell that it's there, but it's not making a huge difference in the overall picture. Most of the taste that you're getting is that sauce. And the sauce is fantastic. So that's not a detraction at any point. That's not like a net negative. You can definitely taste some of the sweetness of those vegetables, which is a really good sign that it was cooked properly. Because when you just throw in raw vegetables into a stew or a sauce and you let it get soft, you're not heating up the sugars in the vegetable enough to start caramelizing and releasing the flavor that they can. And that's what it tastes like is happening here, because when you taste those red peppers that are floating around, or possibly carrot, then it's really sweet. Like, they make their presence known quite well. And I'm a big fan. For real, like, I don't know if I've ever had an isotonic not be good. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Unless it was, like, you know, moldy. I didn't really see anything that made me think mold. Like, there's some green bits in there on the, like, solidified portions, but, like, it's lemon lime. So, like, I don't know. Seeing something green isn't really, like, a big red flag to me. Maybe it should be. I don't know. What a way to spend a Sunday. All right, well, I'm gonna dive right in. I'm gonna just send it, take a good sip, and see where this leads me. Hmm. Well, most of it is dissolved at this point. There's just like a one last little bit at the bottom there. That little guy. But beyond that, I sipped a little bit, you know. I'm kind of taking it easy. It's very, very smooth, and it does kind of taste like a wet nap smells, which, like, call me weird, but, like, isn't terrible. I like the smell of wet naps, and I always, like, kind of wanted something that tasted like that type of lemon lime. Maybe it just needs a bit more water. Maybe it's too strong. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be completely undecided about that drink for the rest of the day. Oh, that's a pretty good tea. The tannins are pretty relaxed in there. Like, it doesn't give you that overwhelmingly, like, mouth-drying sensation after drinking it. I'm going to throw some condensed milk in there, though. Blech. Man, I was trying to adjust my phone. I dropped my phone right into that Asian beef. That's awesome. Now my phone will smell like this Asian beef for a little while. I guess it could be worse, right? See, I don't know why, like, more countries don't put sweetened condensed milk into things, because you can use it as your creamer, and that's great. And it's also a huge morale booster. Man, that's fantastic. The sweetened condensed with that really mild black tea is really nice. That's super good. Yeah, these are Jammy Dodgers. Look at that. That's really cool. I know these have a different name, but I've only ever heard them really referred to as a Jammy Dodger. And if I ever reference a Jammy Dodger, I get looked at like I have three heads, because the person I'm talking to is obviously, like, never seen Doctor Who. I'd hate to be the US guys stationed next to the Australians and just eating their snacks in front of them, because, God bless, this stuff is fantastic. This is so crispy and wonderfully fresh. even though it's been packed in that little package for like the better part of 5 years. I don't want to undersell it here. That cookie is crispy, it's crunchy. The jam is perfectly sweet. It's very strawberry-ish. Strawberry. At any rate, that is a phenomenal Jammy Dodger, or, you know, jam biscuit, jam sandwich biscuit, biscuit jam sandwich. However you want to address that sandwich cookie, phenomenal. If you put that in the store, I'd be buying it every time I went shopping, regardless of how much it costs. That's how good that is. Especially when you throw on some of that sweetened condensed milk. Dude, talk about a morale booster. It's like, hey, we got to march, 20 miles today. But at the end of that, you have a CR1M waiting for you with a nice pack of those things and some sweetened condensed milk. I'm already moving. Forget about it. All right. We got some multi-grain bread. We're going to try that with some tuna. This is Prepared Foods of New Zealand. Multi-grain bread. We'll see how this guy looks. Oh, wow. That's really nice shelf-stable bread. Jeez Louise. Here we are. Here's like a chunk of bread. Which means it's also time to pay the piper, to try the Vegemite. The Vegemite. I don't know. Maybe it's because whoa. Okay. It wouldn't stop. Maybe it's because I bought into the internet lore about this stuff, but like, this has a healthy amount of chatter online about it. People literally will like fight about Vegemite. People love it or hate it. I'm just afraid of it. We'll do that much. Not a whole lot. That much. We're going to taste it. We're going to give it a shot. We're going to give her the old college try. I'm going to put the corn to her. Give her the chowder. I'm stalling. All right. Let's do it. Oh my God. Oh. Well, let's get some tea. Good Lord. That is aggressive. That's about all I can say about that at the moment. It's super salty. Imagine the color of like an almost black brown and then add salt to that idea of that color. That's what Vegemite tastes like. It's extremely strong, whatever flavor that is, which I can't at this time really explain. Mad respect to all the videos of Australians that I've seen take huge bites of that stuff. Oh my God. It tastes like, go out to your grill right now, your dad's grill or whoever's grill, your neighbor's grill, and go to that little tinfoil thing that hangs underneath the grill with all the drippings and grease and stuff, and just bring a spoon. Take your spoon and just pick up a bunch of that grease dripping and eat it. That's exactly what Vegemite tastes like if you dump a bunch of salt on it. Let's try it with bread. All right. Well, I'm still not in love with it, but I'm beginning to understand it a little bit more. When you put it with bread, it calms that flavor down a whole lot. Like, eating it straight up is rough. There is no two ways about it. It is rough when you eat it straight up. But when you put with the bread, like, at least you have something to soften that landing a bit. But Vegemite. Yeah, well, we're not going to toss it. We're going to put it to the side here. All right. Well, let's get this tuna out. Let's get this tuna out onto a bread. All right. Good thing there's no hiss. Oh, God, that'd be horrific. You open up tuna, it's like... Yeah, it's not the most attractive looking tuna. I don't think I'm going to eat this tuna. There's some green discoloration in there. And some blues. But when I open tuna that's a few years old and I see greens and blues, I'm immediately thrown off and don't want to eat it. I don't want to get sick. So this is going the way of the buffalo. All right, let's check out the all fruit. If there's literally anything other than fruit in here, I'm going to be mad. Citrus fiber is not exactly fruit. Neither is gelling agent. And what is that? Carrot in my all fruit bar? Unreal. So I'm going to have to contact Australia and get my money back. It's a whole lot of false representation and outright lies. Oh, jeez. Whoa. That's something right there. It's silky smooth, I'll tell you that. It's got a texture to it. You can kind of see it in the light. I hold it just right. We'll give this guy a shot. It sticks to the teeth a bit. We get these like little fruit leather strips for my little girl for daycare. They're these like paper thin, like rolled sheets of like fruit leather. It tastes exactly like those, except this has body to it and like chew because it's thick and it's got a lot of resistance. So, man, that's fantastic. This thing is an absolute winner. This is another one of those things that the US should definitely steal. And that thing is like almost 6 years old and it's that delectable. Then like they are truly doing that the right way. All right, let's give this another shot. Seems like everything is pretty much dissolved at this point. Initially, it tastes really fresh, like a super souped up version of a lemon lime drink. Like it's like ultra lemon and uber lime. It literally tastes like you're drinking a drinkable wet nap. But the problem is the aftertaste is a little weird. It's not like off-putting or offensive or anything of that nature, but like it's also not something that you drink a bit of and you want to drink like a whole cup of. So I don't know. Like it's just weird, man. It's just weird, man. All right. Well, at least we got our tea. All right. To make this video not like 2 hours, we're going to cut it here and meet you up again at dinner. See you then. And dinner. Let's jump into this thing. So we've got our lamb curry. I heated that up in some hot water. We got that mashed potato. I don't know if this is going to be good or not because this is one of those things that was damaged. Along with this chocolate ration, this might be toast because that was cut all the way down into the package, which is too bad. Beyond those guys, I got some chicken soup and a steak bar, tea bag, and a chocolate cake. Let's get a look at this potato and see how we're doing. Well, it's all on the sides of the pack, but I mean everything. It looks like it's okay. Some potato crystals. Oh, I said that's so weird. Smells okay. Got some like chives and stuff in there. Yep. bubbling like a cauldron. I'll let that hang out and think about what it's done. Do another 250 thereabouts. Add it here. And I'm gonna add this creamy chicken soup. It better be creamy, or I swear. Oh, nice. It's got some nice colors in there. Got some stuff going on. I'm thinking maybe, bear with me, I just set that right there. Let the soup heat up that chocolate chip cake. The last thing I need this cup for is that tea. So I'm gonna set that to the side, let it steep. And then once it's ready, I'll add some of that sweetened condensed milk, which we still have a fair amount, so I can go pretty heavy. I'll also put some of that maybe on that chocolate cake, and we'll see. So while these things are working, let's look at that Jack Link's teriyaki steak bar. Add that to the old collection. I don't have a collection. Don't ask to see it. Nice dark red teriyaki steak bar. Thing's pretty sturdy. You need some pretty good teeth to really sink into this guy, I think. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let's give it a try. This steak bar, it's not anything at all like what you would find in a U.S. ration, or really even in a U.S. store. That's like a really thick piece of like jerky. You could throw that in your pocket in like the afternoon, take a bite of it and keep that bite going for a while, kind of like a jerky, or even like a jerky chew, where, you know, you bite off like, you know, that much, and that's going to last you a good, you know, 7 minutes if you really like take your time with it. So that's a solid little meat snack right there. That should have been like a lunchtime thing. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, let's check out our chocolate ration. I assume this thing is going to be super bloomed because that thing is ripped, which, like, I'm kind of sad about. If this thing was whole, it would have been awesome. Would have been cool to just have that package whole, because it just looks like aesthetically very pleasing. Let's try and, yeah, no, there's no way. Okay, well, that is either a just bar of solid bloom, or that might be how it's supposed to be colored. I'm not exactly sure, but like, maybe it's just really light. I don't know. Smell wise, it smells not like chocolate. It's a little darker here, as you can see, but the rest of it is like a sand color. I don't know. I think that's completely gone because of that cut in the package, which is too bad, but I'm still gonna give it a try. You got to. Oh. Yeah. Oh, man. That was like, oh. Nah. Unfortunately, that did not make it. That cut through the package ruined this chocolate bar, and I'm just ripping it up now. Damn it. That thing was like eating, like sand that was trying to cosplay as chocolate, and it tasted like rotten milk almost. Like there's an undertone. And to all my other homies out there eating rancid food on YouTube, like, yeah, that does give you that classic like mouth coating rancid feel to it. which, like, if you've not experienced, you should go out and, no, I'm not going to say that. There's some young, impressionable people watching YouTube videos, but it's definitely an experience unlike anything else. You know, eating something rancid and just having that like weird feeling coat your entire mouth and throat and tongue. It's something, man. All right, let's give this a smell. Oh man, yeah, that smells like creamy chicken soup. Well, that's good because that's what it's supposed to be. I'm gonna give this a taste and see how we're doing here. That is one of the most surprising things in this ration so far. Like, I'm not gonna fib. It's so weird to me that you can eat something that's literally like liquid with some stuff floating in it, and it still makes your mouth water while you're eating it. The saltiness is perfect. The creaminess is perfect. The chickenness level of chicken level, it's over 9,000. Like, it's phenomenal. Like, I wouldn't order this at a restaurant for sure, but like, you might even want to just add those potatoes to this. Like, have that over the potatoes. That might be fantastic. But I think the move here is to do those potatoes with the curry. I thought these floating pieces were like little pieces of chicken, but I think what they're supposed to simulate are like little croutons, because they're crunchy. Like, every single one of them is crunchy. That is honestly some of the best soup I've had in a ration, like, by far. That's fantastic. Now for the main event. Yeah, it's still nice and warm. We'll get these potatoes out. We'll give them a chance here. That is a mashed potato in a bag right there. Like, instant potato will never not look like instant potato, no matter how instant or potato-y it is. Let's give it a try and see if that is spoiled like the chocolate. No, I mean, it tastes fine. Time to break these guys out. Black pepper and salt. Because, like, the potatoes are fine. They're very, very bland. There's not a whole lot going on. It's mostly just like texture, I guess, to put your main onto, or to put the soup over. Either way, I mean, it's appreciated that it's here. I like potatoes, you know. I'm sure you kind of could have guessed with my name being Patty, and that would make you a racist. Let's try this. Some of that soup. Just what I thought. You put that chicken soup into those potatoes or eat them together in any which way you want, and that's just fantastic. Like, that is so enjoyable, man. Before I get ahead of myself, let's get this lamb curry open here. It's not like I always say. Some of this stuff looks absolutely horrific, but it tastes so good. I love lamb when it's done right. Lamb gets a bad rap because, a lot like duck or some of the other finer proteins, kind of like rabbit is one. If you cook it for a minute too long or a minute not long enough, depending on the application that you're cooking for, it can be bad, like not enjoyable. Another thing about lamb that cracks me up is people saying it's gamey. Like, the next time you hear someone say gamey when describing meat, do this. It's hilarious. Say, what do you mean by gamey? And they will respond the same way every time. They go, gamey. It's got like, like a little, and then they scrunch up their face and they go, like, gritty? Like, it's got sand in it? Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, gaminess doesn't exist. It's a lie put out there by Big Beef. You know? All right, enough of that. Stop ranting about meat. No one cares. Get on with it. All right. It's got pretty nice sized pieces of lamb in there. Oh, and another thing about lamb, and people who eat it with mint jelly. That was a 30-minute rant on mint jelly eaters. Let's check out this. Okay. That has that very distinct lamb taste. You know what I'm talking about. But it's not the first thing that comes at you. What you get first of all isn't a curry flavor either. It's a very pronounced black pepper. You get that black pepper, onion, and then you start getting into that lamb where it's that soft, very savory lamb, which kind of goes into that almost sour aftertaste that lamb can have. And that's immediately followed over by the curry sauce. That is phenomenal. Well done to whoever put this together, because that is a fantastic lamb curry. I'm not even blowing it up. I'm not even just glazing it because the CR1M is what it is to me. I'm saying that genuinely from the bottom of my black little heart. That is a fantastic curry. Like, I'm not even a huge curry fan. I don't even know what sport Steve Curry plays. I think he's a golfer. I don't know. All right. So, listener, whoever you are watching this, I don't care if you're young, old. I don't care if you're purple, yellow, whatever. Your assignment is to go and find a shepherd's pie. Yes, a shepherd's pie that is made with lamb. Because that's what shepherd's pie is. It doesn't have beef because shepherds do not raise cattle. It's lamb. Go and have that. And this has the same feel to it when you're eating it with the potatoes. That stewed lamb with sauce of any kind with potato. Oh, my God. All right, let's get serious with this. I know that there are lots of people out there who get kind of like a little gun shy when it comes to meats other than like, you know, the three that we usually eat here in the West, like beef, pork, and chicken. They see like lamb or, you know, horse meat rations from Kazakhstan, and they get, you know, a little perturbed. I would say, don't be a baby. Get serious. Figure it out. Tea. Oh, fantastic. I think tea with sweetened condensed milk is one of those just joys in life. I am getting so full, so I'm going to check out this chocolate chip cake. Ooh. Look at the chocolate cake in there. It doesn't look all that great. It feels moist. It smells like a chocolate cake. I don't know why I'm surprised, but it doesn't smell bad. I think this thing held up. So let's give her a try. Wow, that's super dense. Let's throw some of this guy on there. Can't go wrong, right? Like a little bit of icing. Man, that actually has more cocoa in it than most Nestle chocolates. Huh. The more you know. I've been looking forward to the CR1M for a long time. Let me clean this stuff up. Almost gonna let your babies grow up to be cowboys. So, the CR1M that I was looking forward to forever, was it worth waiting for? I think despite having some setbacks, like some of the things being rancid, like the chocolate bar or the coffee flavored protein drink that I was kind of looking forward to, I think it was super worth it. I really enjoyed that ration. I enjoy kind of the tactile feel of getting this big pack that, you know, it weighs like something like 4.5 pounds. I forgot to measure it. The next one I get in, I'll put on a scale. But just the enormity of it, the quality of the food that's in it is kind of unparalleled, really. Like, it was better quality food than was in the RCIR that I had, which was admittedly more out of date. But you know, when all things come together, it was a fantastic 24-hour ration. I would definitely love to have one of those anytime I was out and about, or anytime I had to rely on something like that. As far as like people in the field dealing with that or relying on that, I think it's a fantastic addition to, you know, an armed forces unit. It's got really great morale boosting items, like for Australians being able to have Vegemite, which is kind of their, you know, water to anyone else in the civilized world. But you get a bunch of weird Australians or New Zealanders, and they live off of that stuff, from what I can gather. That right there is a huge morale booster. Let alone the like sweetened condensed milk or the dessert item, that chocolate cake, or just having really nice mains like that lamb curry. Like, you look at some of that stuff and compare it to the United States. Like, what is the United States really doing with our lives? Like, we've got items like, you know, meatballs and red sauce, spaghetti and red sauce without spaghetti, spaghetti with no sauce. You get the idea. And then you look at other people and they're like, you know, we've got mushroom risotto or we've got lamb curry, like blah, blah, blah. The meals in international packs, as an American, they're just always so good. But the Australian one was just phenomenal. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My channel's been doing a little bit of growth. I'm up over 100 subscribers. To you guys who are watching, tuning into my videos and stuff, leaving comments, thank you so much. It really means a lot to see people interacting with the stuff that I've been making. I don't want to get all sappy, but truly, it means a lot, and I love seeing it. So stay tuned. There's going to be some more. I've got some stuff coming in. I've got another CR1M coming, but I think I'm going to hold off a minute until I make that video. I think that one will be in a little better shape. It's a different menu as well, so we'll see how that goes. All right. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day or night or whenever it is that you're watching this, and I'll see you around.